What is up, guys? Finally, it's time for the Flashy Flash SSR rundown. He's coming to you live tomorrow, 5 a.m. Get ready for those 5 a.m. pulls. It's gonna be lit. Y'all already know. But is Flashy Flash really worth your 180 black tickets? Let's have a look. So first, an introduction to Flashy Flash. He is considered one of the best, if not the best, counter-attack characters in the game. This is also known as follow-up to some of you. He has a thick shield if he's the fastest character on the battlefield. He pairs well with Garo, similarly to how you're using Metal Bat and Garo in Live Clash now in Southeast Asia, where Garo follows up and then Flashy Flash follows up with a basic attack. And as most people will skip him, if you are a whale and you intend to get Flashy Flash, having him is 100% a bonus. He will not, and I repeat, he will not be a burden to your team if you are a whale. And number one, aesthetic. He fits all the flashy moves, the flashy skills. Definitely a good character if you're into aestheticism, I would say. So now the cons. So he requires double a normal LSSR's investment. So what do I mean by this? I'll let you have a look later. But basically, more or less, if you're going all the way with Flashy, you're gonna need to 4-star almost every single piece of gear you have. He needs to be the fastest on the field. You're gonna have to wash buff gears for years. And then if he has no speed or he's speed 2 or speed 3, more or less is useless already. This is the problem with Flashy Flash. He needs to outspeed almost everyone on the board, enemy wise. Ally wise, yeah, so he kind of needs to outspeed everyone on the board generally. And then Monk set is a must, unless Southeast Asia randomly introduces the Flashy set, which is built for Flashy Flash. You definitely need to gonna stick to Monk set. So that means he has very limited versatility. There's no option for broken set. But if you have no choice, you can run a broken set. It's just very underwhelming. Okay, moving on. Abilities breakdown. So his passive actually has two parts to it. It's called Dynamic Flash. So if the enemy speed is lower than Flashy Flash, he launches a counter attack, dealing 60% damage up to 3 times per round. And then if an ally follows up, Flashy Flash will deal 60% of his attack as extra damage to all enemies. So let's have a look at what it looks like. So Genos ults, and then Garo follows up, and then Flashy follows up with his basic and then extra damage. Let's see it again. Garo follows up and then Flashy extra damage. So definitely a very strong passive. It's more or less giving him more AoE damage. It hits all 6 characters, and also it functions as a good follow-up to Garo's internal injury follow-up. So definitely very good. So when you upgrade it to his extreme passive, the enemy's speed follows the same mechanic. So Flashy will deal a counter attack up to 80% damage. So having a 20% increase 3 times per round. And when an ally follows up, he also deals an additional 80% attack as extra damage. So it's quite a good passive to 5-star. You definitely get a lot of bonus with the extra damage, especially if you have strong sigils and strong buff gears. Definitely is very good. And then for his basic attack, it's called Flashy Slash. So he deals 120% damage to one enemy and increase his own speed by 20% the next turn. So this is what it looks like. Very simple. That's why it's called a basic attack. And then now we have his ultimate, which I feel is one of the most aesthetic ultimates out there. So his ultimate is called Light Assassination. So he hits a row, which is the front row, dealing 140% of his damage. He has a 70% chance to shatter for 2 rounds, increasing damage taken by 30%. And he shields himself for 7% to a total of 42%, and it scales with the enemies he's outsped. So the more enemies he's faster than, the higher the shield value. So 42% shield value is ridiculous already. So when he's upgraded to his Ultra form, he hits a row for 30 additional damage, totaling to 170%. He has a 10% increased chance to shatter, and the damage taken is increased by 5% to 35. And then his shield basic value goes up to 10% and totals up at a whopping 60%, which is nasty. So this is why Flashy Flash needs so much speed, because look at the amount of value you're getting, 42% and 60% shield. That is a lot. So this is what it looks like. This is the Ultra Ultimate, by the way, not the regular Ultimate, because I do not have footage of the regular Ultimate. So let's see it again. Really, really aesthetic. Such dazzling colors. Okay, moving on to the meta analysis. What's up, guys? Now we're back at it again with a new meta analysis. I'm here in China's server 220, and we're looking at the current best Flashy Flash player in the server. His Flashy Flash is rank 24 and he's currently rank 21 in Arena. So let's have a look at his Flashy, shall we? So 3 million BP, considerably high. So level 19 skill level, 6 stars, wow, okay. 5 purple, and talent unlocked, and the ultimate talent is True Strike. So you deal 12% extra damage to enemies above 80% health. Okay, so let's have a look at how he fares in the arena. I guess we can try this. So Flashy Flash main gimmick, I wouldn't say gimmick, like his main mechanic is outspeeding everyone. So you should see this guy's Flashy Flash in his speed 1. Okay, so he sets up for the team with an ultimate. Deals massive amount of damage and shatters, setting up for Goketsu. Let me just disable the enemy for a bit. So as you can see, the combo is actually pretty deadly, and Flashy Flash, when built right, actually is pretty strong. So that's the main counter to Bomb Core, which is ATT. So yeah, if your Flashy Flash is not tanky, you should not put him in the front line. But at the same time, he's actually a very good support character to be put in the front line. Just because once he serves his purpose, if you want him to play him for follow-up, it's also good. But it's not necessary. But it doesn't seem I'll be able to win this, I guess, because ATT is actually very, very strong. Oh, we'll see. Goketsu is also very strong. Okay, let's have a look at this, shall we? Now, in my opinion, the main reason why this Flashy Flash is not actually dominating as well is, I think, compared to these units, especially the 5-star RMG and the Gyoro core, he's actually fallen out of meta quite a lot in CN, but I think in C he will be way stronger because he's a new unit, and then it's definitely a good pickup for wheels, but we'll see how it goes against this comp, which is a little bit less up to date. So he sets up for the team, full shatter. Extreme Amai is one of the best LSSRs to come out in the new era. So he immediately triggers Garo's follow-up internal injury. And then sets up for Furasshu to deal massive damage as well. So every time an enemy character that's slower than him moves, he deals a follow-up damage. So it's pretty sick. So like, I wouldn't say that this Flashy Flash is behind, but it's definitely not as up to date as the other characters. And we have a ranking to see like how does he fare versus the top tier characters in this server. So he's already followed up his maximum time, which is I think 3 if not 4. So pretty cool character actually, and he's a good supporter type character rather than a main damager. See, that follow up is pretty sick. And it's over. So, in my opinion, should you get Flashy Flash? Well, you have a look here already. Exactly what Flashy Flash problem is. If he's behind comparatively to other characters, let's say like most of the characters are already breaching 4.5 million. Some of them are closer to 5 million than where Flashy Flash is. So if you allow your Flashy Flash to slack like this compared to the other meta characters, there is no way he will be able to be good enough to justify his relevancy in your team. So this is why there's a lot of people that recommend for you not to get Flashy Flash, is because the material cost to get him to work properly is incredibly high, and he doesn't really last infinitely, unlike some characters like RMG. Closer characters are like Garo. Garo lasts very long time. As you can see, I even have Garo in the lineup in this account too. So he definitely doesn't last as long, but it doesn't mean that he's a bad character. It's just that it's not recommended for free to play, unfortunately. But if he's your favorite character, by all means go ahead. There's nobody is going to tell you what to do and what not to do. But at the same time, like, you need to consider that that you might not be investing into the right character. Wow, 2 million follow-up. Okay, so if a well-trained Flashy is like that, it definitely is worth it. But I do not think any free-to-play player will have the resource to actually build Flashy this well. If you're a Mega Whale, VIP 16, can spend 3 billion money in the game, then you can definitely all max every character. But if you're not, you're free to play, you're here to have fun, you should think twice before getting Flashy. Unless he's your favorite character. If he's your favorite character, by all means go ahead. Double follow up. Wow. Because you should always pick the characters that brought you to the game in the first place, or the anime in the first place. And as you can see, Flashy Flash is not a bad character. If anything, he's a good character. It's just that the main reason why people tell you not to get Flashy Flash is just because of his cost. He requires a lot to maintain. So if you're not prepared for that level of cost, then do not get Flashy Flash. So, round 3, everybody is dead already. So, definitely good. I wouldn't say Flashy Flash is bad. A lot of people give him a lot of flack for being underwhelming for his cost, but if anything, he's very good. Okay, I'm just gonna skip this and check out the damage. So 256 million, if I'm reading that right. So very high damage, but I mean for this server it's nothing. So you automatically get box 2. So without a doubt, Flashy is a good character if you have the resource to invest into him. If you do not have the resource, then I'm sorry to say, but maybe Flashy is not for you. If you want to get him as your favorite character, by all means, but don't put too much into him. You should just resource all your assets into Zombie Man instead, where you can keep him as a playable character if you like to. That's all for this session of meta analysis. Back to the video. And we're back, everybody. So, should you pull Flashy Flash? You should only pull him if you're a follow-up enthusiast. That means you have Metabad Garo and you play slow Garo, following for the follow-up attack centric characters. Definitely get Flashy Flash. If you have access of BT, that means you can secure Goro, you can secure RMG in the future, pull Flashy Flash. If he's your favorite character, pull Flashy Flash. You should always prioritize pulling your favorite characters. And if you're pay to win, because he's a very good unit for hero side, you will not lose anything if you get him, but you definitely need the speed gears. So if you're pay to win, you're definitely going to need to grind more to get Flashy Flash to a point where you can use him constantly. And then you should not pull Flashy Flash if you're free to play, because he needs a lot of SAC, he needs a lot of materials, and then more or less you need to reverse a duelist. I recommend Golden Ball if you've invested into him. I don't recommend you reverse Zombie Man, that's a bad move. So if you don't have any other duelists to reverse, you're going to have to spend a lot of stamina to get the materials. And then if you need him for figuring, you can actually pull him on his comeback rather than his main banner. And then if you have no proper gears for him, such as Monk attack speed, then I highly suggest you think twice before pulling Flashy Flash. So let's look at the Mysteria expense. It's 5-star or nothing. Honestly, with Flashy Flash, if you cannot 5-star him, then don't bother getting him, because he's very underwhelming until he reaches 5-star. And then the total expense for 5-star is 239 shards and 343 badges. So you need to 5-star him as soon as possible, because he's on a time limit. Every day that passes closer to the next banner, he loses value. Because once Giro meta starts, follow-up is very underwhelming. Only Garo actually survives until the current bomb meta. Flashy Flash is good if you invest everything into him, but I don't suggest you do, especially if you're a whale, because you have better characters we can give you more value, like Gyoketsu or RMG or Awakened Terrible Tornado. So yeah, if you want to get Flashy Flash, you need to 5-star him as soon as possible. And then Awakening, 3 to 4 star is sufficient. You don't need to go for 5-star unless you're a Flashy main. And then if you are free to play and you want to get Flashy, stop at 2 to 3 star. You should avoid 5-star, skip his KS and focus up on RMG. Additional information. For gears, definitely you need 4 monk attack speed and you need to SAC all of them. SAC all of them. The amount of SACs thrown into this one set itself to guarantee that he goes speed 1. This Flashy Flash has a total of 900 speed. And then if you don't have monk set, you can run broken set, but it's very inefficient because you don't benefit from the 10% speed boost. And then his talent, his main talent in talent 3 is True Strike 2. So he deals 12%, 4% base and then goes up to 12% at level 3 or 4. Additional damage is extra damage to enemies above 80% HP. So if he goes first, you guarantee every enemy is above 80% HP because they'll be full health because you're first. And then Sigil, Sharp Sword is good. Piercing is good also, especially in bomb meta. It just shreds to shields and blocks. And then Ruining Sigil is also good because of his shatter. And then Vitality Sigil if you want to play survivability, but it's not really recommended. You can also go for Ultimate Reduction Sigil. Buff Gears 3 attack. If you can get a bonus speed stat, that would be better. Major issues and drawback. First thing, Flashy Flash is too dependent on speed. If he's not speed 1, his value drops immensely. He's also, I would treat him as a centerpiece. You should build a team around Flashy Flash, not put Flashy Flash into a team. So you need to speed tune your team based on Flashy Flash. And then he also requires monstrous amounts of resources, which is ironic because he's a hero. So yeah, he needs insane amount of resources thrown into him, especially when it comes to awakening resources, because he really shines when he reaches 4 or 5 purple stars. So do take note of that. And he's only relevant for a short time. Although like if you main him, he's relevant for a very long time because that's what our main characters are. They are meant to transcend the meta. But if you not maining him, he will be relevant for maybe the next 3 to 4 months, maybe 5 months at most. And then railing for Flashy Flash, I would say gives you diminishing returns. Initially, you feel very strong because Flashy Flash will be very good. But then when you look to the hero meta now in bombs meta, you wouldn't be able to actually make use of Flashy Flash that much. Because they're just better centerpiece characters for hero side. So that's all from me. I'd like to thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. Till we meet again, peace out.